Well, sometimes I have a lot of fun with the Ranger Derbies. This is a car I made for my wife, but back a long time ago. We re-raced it in the classic. I made that, oh gosh, a long time ago, maybe 20 years ago or so. And then made this little plaque, new design plaque to hose it, and they set up on the walls and that kind of thing. And then these are some cars. That's a Lego car. We do Legos now. That's a 3D printed car. There's a block of wood inside that. And then these are some my cedar cars that I just carved out, and most of them are first place. They people really like them because they're just the cedar, and they're a little taller than that. But anyway, so and I have, I don't know, 30 some odd cars down in the basement, in the storage place that I do that with. But anyway, over the years, I've probably built, I don't know, 1,000 cars, or helped build 1,000 cars. Anyway, let's get back to it. All right, trailer's about ready to go. I'm getting ready to go out and hook it up, get her going. Carly's wanting me to go out and throw toys. Come on, girl. Come on in here. Got a nice little breeze tonight. Come on. All right, that's 1/4 batch that came out of the kiln. That was my sample batch just to see if I could do bug sterilization in it, and I got that accomplished. This is all measuring about 9% moisture content. Well, of course, it's got snow on the ground outside here. It's the middle of winter, been down to 10 degrees and stuff. Today, I think it's at 35, 38 degrees right now. So I took advantage of that to get some of this done. But anyway, that's what a stack of wood is. It's not, the majority of it is probably close to about 40 inches long. And then some of these boards at the top are right at 4 feet. And this is some white maple or some soft maple, maybe silver maple. I'm not sure. Hard maple. I can't remember what it is. It's from a friend's house. And so that's off of there, and it's ready to produce projects. And so this as well. It was air dried for 8 months, and then it was kiln dried for like 3 days and at high temperatures and to kill the bugs. And then just regular 90 degrees and pulling no moisture off of it. So anyway, that was that first batch. I've got another batch. I've got another stack that about this size. I put in the kiln again, and I've got it running. And then I have another stack that's twice the size of this one, back in the corner. So when I get that processed, then I'll start on another batch. But anyway, in the process of doing that and making the plaques, I'm getting ready for a derby crafting, and so I just use my trailer as a portable workshop, and just move some of my tables and my tools in here. Bandsaw, drill press. I've got, of course, anchor everything and clamp it down, and I've got lights that come in around the back side over here at the top. So when I plug in, it's pretty nice and bright in here. I may take a smaller table over on this side, but I'm not sure. And anyway, scroll saw and metal working tools, all my derby stuff. So processing that, and I do need to finish clearing off some of those other things back here in the corner. So let me get that done. All right, it's a simple block of wood, right? But for something about this block of wood, it catches the imagination of young and old alike. Add a couple wheels to it, like in 4. Add some nails to the mix. And then if you want to upgrade that, you can put some high-speed Boy Scout nails to the mix. And if you get really fancy, then you start going out and out and out, and you start doing crafting. And inside my trailer is a bandsaw that's set up to run. We've got it strapped down to the walls and strapped down. We've got a drill press that's set on slow speed that's bolted to the table with some bolts and a piece of plywood underneath the table. And a bunch of your drills, your pin nailers, your various assortment of tools, special pliers that come in handy for pulling the nail heads out. And they're got a special make on them. You get your different jigs that you'll use for centering, for bending the wheels and the axles and all that good stuff that comes in there, and you'll put a kit of that stuff together, and pretty soon you're a Pinewood Derby pro. And after quite a few years of it, you'll see things change. The Rural Rangers have changed from Dallas to the Boy Scout kits, and you know, it's still a toss-up who makes the fastest car. It's really all in how you tune them up and get them to going. I will say, the Boy Scouts, they pretty well quit when they get into past the Cub Scout level. The Boy Scouts don't really build the kits. The dads build them and the leaders build them for the little boys. But sad to say is most of your Boy Scouts never have built a car by themselves. Their dads and leaders have done it. Some of them have, but not a whole lot of them. And then when they start getting old enough where they can actually do it, they don't have any competitions to go do it, so they can prove that they can build and to do that. So, that's the funny thing about all this is, to me, it's a shame these older boys are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, and they can't build a Pinewood Derby car to win anything because they've just never done it. Anyway, Rangers, we take them all the way up and encourage them to do that. The older boys are kind of hard to get encouraged. But, as you go into it, you throw your various tools on it. You come in there and you play with your drill presses. It looks like I got some wind picking up. And get your kits together and your sanders, and then you bolt everything down with bolts onto your tables, and you have your old shop tables out there. And of course, it takes a whole bunch of other stuff to get it going. You've got various other parts, scales, weights, sandpapers. You've got metal and stuff like that, and metal pots to melt stuff, and then we also tie this into a frontiersman deal where the wool blanket is for flint and steel fires, and there's a bunch of cedar bark, and inside that is a bunch of flint and steel kits and cans of char, stuff like that. This is a knife sharpening kit, and then various other just things like that. Of course, some rags to keep it going. Got lots of clamps to tie stuff together, and extra tools and extra cords along the bottom, a little heat if we get cold tomorrow. This trailer is, I've also got an old table, extra shop table in here, some hearing protection, eyeglass protection, and then various other tools and spring clamps and extra material for some odd things that they might want to make, and then assortment of glues, and that kind of stuff. Pin nailer. If you've never used a good scroll saw, that's one right there. So that's a dandy. I've used a bunch of other ones, and they will shake you all over the table, and with that one, it doesn't do it. It just cuts right through it. So it's pretty cool stuff. Of course, you have to have a collie in there working behind the scenes. But anyway, we're doing a crafting tonight, and the Forstner bits, the drill bits, extra bandsaw blades, shop vac, and then you have fans with filters on them down there at the bottom. And of course, you have to clean the old shop out a little bit while you're going and doing that. And then some of the projects I've been working on, that's resawing logs to lumber. And in a kiln, I just brought this load right here from the kiln. This is my first trial batch of my hot box to get to going. And along the same lines, you have your check-off list of all the stuff that it takes to put in that trailer and to bring these things. And the shop got a little bit of a clean out, got a little more room in here. Then I've got some of that stuff out of there, and I brought it in here. So there we go. Most room I've had in here forever. And of course, you got to get your tapes and all your other stuff and get the Dremel out. I'm just thinking right now I need to get my Dremel and bring it in here, out here. Lots of fun. Some of my carvings up there at the top, I'm giving them away as prizes. So you can get them out. Thank you guys for reminding me of that. Back into the shop, or back into the trailer. This is a carving. This took like 4 hours to get it to carve this out with a ball nose. And it did a good job of carving it. That's a piece of good old soft maple. I don't even have any finish on it, but I've made some of them people when they want to finish them different. So I'll just leave them unfinished and tell them they can put on the finish that they want to add into it. This one's got walnut maple. goes into it, and you know, it's all 3D and pretty cool. So that's that. And then there's 42 plaques in there that I made this week. Some of them are cedar, some of them are walnut, some of them are oak, and they come in with different carvings, but they were just this is my donation here. So of course all of it's donation pretty much, but anyway, Laser did that, and that's a design that I've been going on for several years. Anyway, there's 42 plaques inside that kit, and a little lantern for a kit. We're doing a lock-in so we camp overnight, so for our outpost level. And lots of fun, a little extra heat if we need it. I'll run a couple 3 extension cords out through the outside and for the shop vac, and basically I've got a little toggle that toggles just closed when I'm not using it, and then run my cords out through that, so I'll run them out if it's cold. And then that kind of thing. I'm sitting there looking at my trailer. It looks like it's needing a little glue work there done. Maybe I'll get the nail out and shoot some nails in it and that kind of thing. So there we go. So that is Derby crafting. I'm gonna be cutting out cars tonight, tomorrow, and we'll have a lot of fun with that. All right, check it on the kiln. It's at 90.4 degrees. So it just clicked off, and it's starting to cool off a little bit. So let me get in there and see if we got any humidity from the logs or the wood that I put in there from last night. All right, it's got water up to about right here. That's just from one day of running it. So that's cool. I'm going to dump the water and then pull the little plug thing to drain. So it'll drain out the outside. All right, you're kind of curious what's going on in here. I just pulled the plug out of that, turned it backwards. Of course, I got a little drainage there at the bottom, so it'll be plugging that in for that out. But basically, what this thing's going to do is it's going to turn back on and remove the humidity. And when it quits removing humidity, then I'll do the heat coat. But these are my 2 box fans. They're blowing air right through here. It's circling through the stickers, backing around and going through there. And then I'm supplement that with this Duramax heater. And it's basically just producing a light heat. I'm going in here, and at 90 degrees, it'll produce humidity. So inside this vapor box, so there you go. And the wood's nice and dry, and it'll be drier when I get done with it here. So let me scooch out through the door there, and it's big enough for me to get in. I knew I was going to get in and want to check it. So there you go. All right, so there we are. I just emptied that and see how much water comes in there in the next day or two. And as long as it's producing water, I'll just keep letting it run at the 90-degree range. It'll keep going about 90, and then it'll kick it off. And the little deal right there is already kicked off, and it'll start declining in heat. So it keeps it between about 87 degrees to 90. Just kicks a little Dura heater on just enough to heat it up. And then it turns it off, so it cycles back and forth, keeping it right up at that temperature. And the box is doing a good job of keeping it going. So there we go. This thing here is not doing anything, but all right, I need to go down and get some of my gear for the event tonight.